evening, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, and I'm here with the March rendition of my Psychic Hour. I'm so glad to see everybody here. I'm seeing lots of new names and new faces, and also a lot of my loyal people who have been with me. Oh my goodness, what is it, 8 or 9 years that I've been doing this now? And I'm really grateful that you are still with me. Thank you so very, very much. Lisa, just a quick asking you, can you see me, hear me, see my screen? Is all well on your end?
All is well on my end.
Excellent. I keep not trusting this program so very much because now that we've transferred into a new version of GoToMeeting, it's not always as predictable as the old version was. So I'm so grateful that you are here and you're able to give me that feedback. Thanks, Lisa, for being there. Folks, as I get started, I want to remind you, these meetings are monthly. They're always free. It's my gift to you. Your gift to me is your time of being here. My gift to you is that I can be here each month and do these for you. Connecting with my guides and getting the information that we all can use at this time is always fun. I want to remind you that if everyone stays until the end, whoever stays until the end but does not get called on for a reading with me during the session, you are welcome to send me your simple question anytime before 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow evening. And somewhere over the next week or two, I will definitely answer it. I really do answer those emails. I look forward to kind of getting to know you through your questions each month as well. So I'm glad you're here and you still send those questions to me that are fun. Tonight, I'm going to be doing a little bit of office stuff, getting started here. This is our March Psychic Hour. My specials for this month, I still have up here. What's coming in the next 6 months reading special is only $350, and that I've taken my year at a glance reading special down because there's too much of the year that's gone by, but I can still do a 6-month special for you for the basically the same price. And so you can still get that predictive reading between now and pretty much the end of the year. Okay, so go ahead and sign up for that if that interests you. It's on my website right now. I have a coaching special, Finding Your Right Path. It's only $350 also. And that's for people who really want to get down deep and figure out what's really going on in your life right now. What is the direction that your guides are kind of moving you towards? Are your own feelings accurate in what you're feeling? These are things that my guides and I can really help you with. And hopefully by the time you get done with that session, you're going to be on track to be in the right place at the right time in the field that you love, in the relationship that you love. That's what this coaching special is all about. Also, my Psychic Protection Tips program is only half off right now. And when you buy the Right Path Coaching Special, you're going to get it half off. If you don't buy it, well, then you've got to do full price. But if you have the coaching special, you get half off that program. It's a great program. It gives you all kinds of techniques you can use to protect yourself psychically. We all need that right now. And it drips out to you for something like 6 months, one tip a week, so that you have a chance to really practice it. My Beginner Tarot Self-Study course is 30% off during March. And also, don't forget to get your Kabbalah Pathworking cards. These cards you see on the screen and that I started working with a month or two ago right here to pulling them for you when you get your readings with me. Those cards are available on my website right now. They'll stay available on there. I'm really excited about them. So please check them out. And if you're somebody who's a collector of fine art, they're really great. But also if you want to just read tarot cards with the major arcana, that's the number of cards is the equivalent of the major arcana cards in the tarot. So if you're a tarot reader, you can use them in that way. If you're a student of the Kabbalah, well, the cards are based on Kabbalistic symbolism, so you're going to really enjoy it. If you've taken my Kabbalah Pathworking class, oh my, these cards are going to resonate to you. They're going to talk to you. So in April, I have a reading special as well, and so that's going to start really. What do we have? One more day of April or March tomorrow. So on Tuesday, these specials start. Um, my reading special is Your Path to Financial Security. This is a future-oriented reading. It's $350. I want to also mention that my What's Coming in the Next 6 Months special is still going to be available through April. So you're going to be able to get that or the reading special for the Path to Financial Security. A lot of people are really interested in their finances right now, which is why I put this in. It's going to be real helpful to you. I'm also giving you a bonus with that if you get that reading. You can also get what the March 2025 eclipses mean to you webinar, and that's going to be for free for you. It's just included, and that program is on my website for $49 right now, so that's a $49 value. I also am running both of my tarot courses in April for $50 off, okay, which is very close to being at 30% off, maybe a little bit more. But both of them are $50 off. So if you have already purchased the beginner course back in March, you can get the advanced course now for the same discount or better. Likewise, if you are interested in reading the tarot, maybe bringing a little bit of extra money into your world while you're helping your friends and your family and the people that you know, this is a great tool for that. Tarot is easy to learn and a lifelong tool that you can both enjoy and help other people with. So now is a chance when you can get that self-study course with full access to the tarot community that Lisa and I both answer your questions in. And that would be $50 per course off. If you got both of them, it would be $100 off of that whole tarot system. It's a good deal. My next psychic hour, please make a note. It's April 27th. We'll be back together then, April 27th. And moving on to the other side, make sure you have my app, because that armed with the app, folks, even if the internet, with the websites goes down, you're going to be able to access all of the things on my website, including this psychic hour through the app. So go ahead and download that. I mentioned here my two great webinars, what's coming in 2025 and also what the March eclipses mean for you. They're $49 each on the website right now, or $75 for both. And if you're a VIP member, you get a special discount. Ask about your discount. Email Lisa at lisasainc@aol.com, and she'll tell you about that. You can continue this conversation or other conversations with both each other and Lisa and I in the open forum. Once you signed up for my newsletter, you automatically got invited to that open forum. Everybody here is a member. If you click on my website and click on library, you're going to see in the library you already have the community for the open forum, the open community in your library. So you can make whatever comments you like in there. It's safe. Okay, we don't have weird people trolling. It's a really great place to get to know each other and get support from a group that is of like-minded people. If you're a VIP member, please remember our next coaching call is in May. It's May 8, 2025, and those calls are at 7 p.m. I have a little interesting thing about tonight's astrology chart. The astrology chart you see on the board here on the screen in front of you is called a horary chart. I work with that monthly. It's a throwaway chart. It's a chart that is for everyone who's on this call tonight. By your sun sign, I'll be able to find you in this chart, and I'll be able to give you information for yourself. And this is one reason why these sessions are really good to listen to, because even though I might be reading somebody else, I'm talking about your sun sign too, so you get included in that and you listen, you get information for yourself. But what's interesting tonight is that this moon, you see over here where my cursor is, the moon, that's, so everybody recognizes that symbol, the moon is in that 7th house on this chart. And it's just a little rule in horary astrology that when the moon falls into the 7th house, the astrologer isn't going to be able to read that chart properly. So here I am, I've got the chart for tonight, I put it up on the board and I said, how do you like that? It's telling me that I'm not going to be able to read it properly. So folks, I'm still going to work with this chart, and you're going to have to tell me how well it does But thank God my guides are here, because I'm also going to be channeling information from them, and also working with the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. That's my go-to deck. And also working with the cards right here that are my Kabbalah Pathworking cards, the transformation deck. And for our session tonight, I just pulled the lightning flash. I don't know if you can all see it. I'll hold it up. Boy, oh boy, that's manifestation at its best. It says things are happening, folks, in your life, in the world. It's time to get moving. So let's see what's going to be moving tonight. Lisa, who's our first caller?
First caller tonight is going to be Angela. Angela, can you mute?
Hi.
Hi, Angela. Now, as you're the first caller, let me inform you and everyone else, these are the things I need from you. Your first name, and folks, if you email me your question at either lisasa.inc@aol.com or the email attached to this website, either one will get to me. I want to know your first name. I want to know where you're calling from. Angela, where are you from?
I'm out in Valrico, Florida.
Oh boy, you're in the same state as me. Aren't we lucky? So, well, welcome here, fellow Floridian. Okay. I also want to know what your sun sign is. Angela, what sign are you?
Aquarius.
Okay. Oh boy, Aquarius has got a lot happening right now. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And once I know your name, where you're calling from, and your sun sign, I also want to know what you're most grateful for in your life right now. Angela, what's your biggest place for gratitude in your world right now?
Always my sons and just, having the daily essentials taken care of.
Yeah. Oh boy, you are definitely a feet on the ground person. Good girl. Good girl. I agree. I'm right there with you. All those daily essentials right now, especially, is so important. And once we've got those four pieces of information, your first name, where you're calling from, what your sun sign is, what you're most grateful for, then we get to your question. Okay, so even if you're going to email me that, I want that little bit of information. Meanwhile, let's look here and see what's going on for Angela. Now, Aquarius is a fixed sign, and here we have it down here in the fourth house in this chart. It's intercepted, and Pluto has just recently gone across the cusp of this fourth house. So, Angela, anytime anytime a planet is near a cusp of the chart, an angular cusp like the fourth house, the seventh house, 10th house, or first house, which is also the ascendant, anytime a planet's really close to one of those house cusps or has gone across it, it kind of shakes the tree, because those house cusps that mark that right angle of the chart, it's like they form that cross. Those are the active, the action-oriented houses in the chart. So with Pluto only 3 degrees of Aquarius and the basically 30 degrees of Capricorn, which is the same as 0 Aquarius on the cusp, it looks to me like you have maybe in this last year or so had your whole world turned upside down. So I can understand why you say you're happy for the essentials in life being covered for, and your son being healthy and strong and with you, and life is good. Good girl. You've come through a lot. That's what this planetary position tells me right now. Now, folks, if you are a fixed sign like Angela, Angela's an Aquarius, but the other fixed signs are Taurus and Scorpio and Leo. Okay, so all of those signs, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus, are being affected by what's going on right now that I'm going to be talking about for Aquarius. And also, it'll be, when we actually get to your questions, it'll be a little more directed because of what house it falls into as well. But just by sign, these things I'm going to talk about are affecting all of you. If you're a fixed sign person, like Angela, your life has been going through a lot of changes, or maybe internally, you're thinking about a lot of the changes you need to bring about and figuring out what's going to be the best way for me to approach this and make this happen. Now, there's a square, that's a hard aspect between Pluto and the moon. This moon over here is in Taurus. I talked about that earlier. And look, the moon is 259. It's almost 3 degrees. Pluto is 3 degrees. So we've got an exact square between these two planets. Folks, when Pluto and Moon get together and have a party, they become mutually controlling. And both of those planets are feminine in nature. So if you are a fixed sign individual, again, that's Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, or Scorpio, there's very likely a really powerful, somewhat manipulative and over controlling woman in your life. And if it's not a woman, it's very likely your significant other if it's a man. Okay. So there are not just events in your world right now that are feeling like you're kind of under the thumb. It's also some people that you might feel like you have to be living up to, or that you really need to have kind of a battle of who's going to be in charge going on with. And this can be there can be a lot of undercurrents here. Pluto is sneaky. So it may be that this is just undercurrents of conflict. It may be that it's not out in the open. The thing is that conflict is there and kind of at a subconscious level, just a little bit of an irritation. Okay. We also, since Aquarius is the planet involved, we're going to look over at Leo, which is intercepted up here in the 10th house. And that tells me that you fixed sign people are really looking at where you want your world to grow to, because that 10th house is about, your career aspirations. It's about what you want to be when you grow up, how you want the world to see you. And it's intercepted. So right now you're feeling like you're putting lots and lots of energy into things and places that aren't getting where you really want to go. So it's not like you're blocked. That's not what I want to say. It's more like you're just not yet seeing the fulfillment of that dream, but you're working really hard towards it. And also, the sign Scorpio we find on the second house cusp, and it's opposing that Uranus in Taurus, which is in the eighth house, which says that there are extreme financial ups and downs. So, mind you, that could be both good and bad, but there's a lot of financial concern around you right now because you're very aware of both the ups and downs that have happened and also the potentials. So there's a lot going on that's on your mind right now. Angela, how am I doing?
Oh, good.
Okay, and what's your specific question?
I, usually, it's just what it is I need to know, but, one of the things, like, is it time for me to just kind of like pack up my bags and quit going in the direction of real estate and look at something different, or is it just something I need to be patient and write it out? 'Cause
Oh, wow. I love it. I really, really love this. Okay, when you say, should I, just step out of real estate?
that's always we go.
Well, the card I picked for you is this Page of Pentacles, and I'm using the Rider-Waite deck. In the Rider-Waite deck, according to the way I teach my tarot classes, this Page of Pentacles talks about so many things that are specific to you, but also to everybody else. This is your guide, Angela. He's your guide talking to you, especially about financial matters, which it has to do with career. And he's right side up. So he says, wow, there's another dream you have. There's another idea you have that you could be making money with probably tomorrow and probably enjoy it better than hitting your head against the wall of real estate, which hasn't been working for you. Okay. So this is like a yippee, yippee. She heard the message card. Okay. It also talks about your son. Okay. Because obviously the page is a young child. And I don't know if your son is an earth sign. That would be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or let's see, what's the other earth sign? No, those are
I
three.
have one that's Capricorn.
Okay, so it's probably talking about him specifically, and he's going to be very happy if mommy changes jobs. Why that is, I don't know. But it looks like he's all for it. Okay, here's the thing though. This is a positive card saying that it's not just, wow, am I getting the message? Is it time to change? This card said yes to that. But it's also that you already have gotten insight as to what you could be doing that would be more enjoyable and probably pay the bills better right now. Okay. Meanwhile, your second part of the question is, or should you hang in there and keep waiting, waiting, waiting? And for that, I turned up an inverted devil card. Now, the devil is a Capricorn card, and it talks about control and manipulation. Let's go back to the chart. Here's this Pluto squaring the moon. all about control and manipulation. So something, number one, on the home front, that's the fourth house. Number two, coming from whoever your relationship partner is controlling your ability to move forward with the real estate. But there's something else here too. This also brings in, through the opposition, the house of career, the 10th house. So there's also a woman in your workspace who unconsciously, like on the slide behind the scenes, is probably controlling what you do or don't receive, or what isn't given to you. You follow? I.e., there's more here, there's more to this than meets the eye. So if you do decide that you're going to move out of real estate for the time being, you still have your license. So for the time being, to go do something else which is more lucrative and maybe has something to still do with real estate. Haha, you've learned a lot, girl, and you're
Yeah.
smart. Okay. The thing is that you may go back to what you were doing before, but once you have the distance, distance away from it, you're going to start to realize, oh my goodness, I'm going to be blunt, I was getting all these leads and somebody else was using them. Okay. So it's going to take you a while before you really connect with that, because that's just not your personality. It's hard for you to see things when they're not who you are, you see.
Hmm.
But when you have that distance, you're going to realize that, man, you were pretty darn good at this job. The reason it was making or not making the money it should have been making really had nothing to do with you. It had to do with circumstances. And whether you moved to a different part of real estate, or moved to real estate in a different part of the state, or a different country, or a different management company, you're going to do better. Where you are right now is the problem. Okay?
Okay.
Good girl. I'm glad you got the message. And you should thank your guides for that. That's something to really be grateful for, because you had that answer. You probably had all of the answers I just gave you before I actually said them, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah. So there's also a little message here to trust yourself and give your guides a lot of, no, not my guides, your guides. You knew that information before I gave it to you. Give your guides thanks and give yourself credit for hearing that information. Okay. Now it's up to you to act on it. Nobody,
Okay.
one of the important things about that I love about astrology and these kinds of readings, nobody ever forces you to do anything. Where you are in life is where you have put yourself through your own choices. And what we just did together is a good example of that. Your choice, how you want to handle it. But if you do stay where you are, you're going to have to find a way of getting out from under that control issue. Otherwise it's the same. It can't change. Okay.
Okay.
Good girl. Good luck to you. And
Thank you.
just as we go, I'm picking a card for you from my transformation deck, so you can go online and take a look and read about it. And the card that I picked is Path 27. And if you go on my website and you click on the free tab, you're going to see Path 27 listed there. It's an audio MP3. You can listen to it. It's going to give you some insight into what's going on right now. It's like a story set to music, and it's going to be fun.
Okay,
Homework.
thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. And Lisa, who is next on our list?
If I can find my controls, I think they keep moving. We have a brand new person on tonight, Nisha.
Hello,
Can you,
Nisha.
Nisha? Nisha?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. So
Hi,
we
my
know
name
your
is,
name. Nisha, where are you calling from?
it's actually Nisha like Trisha, and
Oh,
I'm
okay.
calling, yeah, I'm calling from North Carolina.
Oh, are you okay up there? I haven't traveled to North Carolina since all the crazy, hurricane stuff happened, and you guys seem to have been hit with one thing after another after another. How are you?
I happen to be fine because I'm in the middle of the state in Greensboro, but the western part is still decimated. It's still in need of a lot of help. But yes, it was terrible, terrible.
Yeah, so hope one thing maybe everybody who's on here with me tonight can take just a moment to send some kind thoughts and healing energy up to everybody in that western part of North Carolina, because boy, oh boy, do they need it. Okay. Lots of
Thank you.
energy going their way. Okay. And Nisha, what's your sun sign?
I am a Capricorn.
Oh boy, you're the gal who makes change happen, aren't you? And here's the 29-degree Capricorn is on the fourth house cusp, but the whole sign of Capricorn is in that third house, which makes Nisha this wonderful Nisha, sorry, Nisha, this wonderful Capricorn lady, a really extraordinarily good communicator. Okay, and right now Mars is moving through its opposition at 23 Cancer. And by the way, Capricorn is a cardinal sign. So if you're a Capricorn, an Aries, a Libra, or a Cancer, what I'm saying is going to have an effect on you. With this Mars in Cancer opposing this Capricorn energy, and Pluto, by the way, is very shortly, like within the next couple of weeks, going to retrograde back, and it will be in a direct opposition to that Mars. It talks about big changes that are about to come into all of our lives. And they don't just come, they involve communication, they involve our siblings and our friends, but they involve also things like the internet. They involve the whole communication industry, big things, because this ninth house is involved. And that talks about long distance travel, long distance communication, other nations. So there can be some deals being made. Nisha, I don't know what your career is, but it really wouldn't surprise me if your communication skills end up lining you up for a transfer that opens things for you in a big way. Just either gives you opportunity to travel or to relocate, or perhaps to just deal with people who are from different cultures or who have expanded points of view. The thing is, something's coming here, and I don't think it's here now, but you probably are aware of it. It will be on the periphery, okay? Things that are getting ready to come into your world in a good sense. Also, on a smaller level than looking at that, because of that opposition, there could be travel in the near future or even around you right now that has to do with family. So, for example, you might be taking your vacation to go visit a family member as opposed to going to the Bahamas, that kind of thing. And again, that has to do with Mars being in Cancer, the sign of family. Now, both of those, your sun sign in Capricorn and that Mars in Cancer also happens to make a square to these Aries planets that are over here in the sixth house. That's Neptune and Sun and Chiron. Chiron's the healing planetoid, and this is the house of healing. So you could be, for example, going to visit somebody who has a health issue, or somebody who's a lot older, whose health you're worried about. What's interesting is with Chiron there's a feeling that health is going to come to them, that their health is going to be supported in some way. So this is a really positive energy having to do with health issues for any of you cardinal signs right now, because even though Neptune and Sun together are not so good, if you are sick, that combination hides symptoms. It makes it hard to diagnose. But Chiron being there in the same sign says we can get through this. You're going to be fine. So there's a real strong energy there for that. And also the sixth house has to do with your everyday life, your household, your work environment. And when we have this T-square, it says that you are not, because it's emptying, it comes out into this 12th house of the unconscious. It says you're a little bit fearful of stuff that's going on right now. You're not really sure that you're moving in the right direction as far as your work or your home, or if you're going to get to continue what you're doing. There's a sense of insecurity here that you may not be showing to other people because it's going into that subconscious part of you. Bear in mind right now, anything that you're pulling back, and this is for all you cardinal signs, if you're holding it in your subconscious, if it's a fear or an anxiety or an anger, it's going to tend to come out at the people you care about the most, the people you're close to. So please be aware of, verbally what you're saying, who you're talking to. Be aware not just of your needs, but the people around you, because you might be a little harsh on them right now. How am I doing, Nisha?
Oh, wow. It's as if you're psychic. It's great.
Uh, okay, Nisha, finally, what's your specific question?
Ooh, I'm a little nervous. Okay, so I had an experience with a student of yours. I think I went to an event with John Edward, and I got to ask a question out of a hat, like it was picked. And one of the things before I got to ask the question, he said immediately, "Are you in healthcare or are you a teacher?" And I was like, "Neither." And he's like, "No, I'm never wrong with this. You are." So all these years, it's been many, many years, and I've been child rearing and caregiving for my older family members, and actually am in a state of burnout, to be very honest with you. So all
And
these years, it's
hold,
been
wait, I've got to interrupt
um,
for a moment.
oh
And it
yeah.
never occurred to you that childcare is teaching and caring for older family members is healthcare.
No, I told him that. I said, I am doing that. He's like, no, no, no. I mean something very specific. And I was like, okay. So all these years it's been in the back of my head. And so recently my hands heated up and I feel like I can maybe start developing something as like an energy type healer and all this stuff. But I've been in the bed for 3 months sick. And so when you were talking about kind of like chronic illness that may lift, that almost made me cry because I feel like, I've just one thing after another, but my nervous system is just, it needs, it needed rest and I wasn't resting, right? So my question is like, will I ever get up from the bed is what I ask myself every day. But like, what path do I start? My kids are now older. The caregiving part of caring for my dad has gone to somebody else now because I'm, in a different place. But I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to develop this healing kind of path or like the previous question, I also have a real estate license I've never used. And I'm like, do I need to do that? Is that the connection with the question before me? It's all about like question mark about what I should be doing next if I'm healthy enough to even do it. Thank you.
Well, here's the issue for you, okay? Um, and I believe me, I'm very familiar with this. You probably burned out, like really super burned out 10 years ago. What
Yeah.
most people don't realize, my guides are correcting me 8 years ago, something happened, but you burned out. The thing is that what most people don't realize about your kind of burnout is that when there is nobody else to take over and the job has to get done, even though you burned out and you know it, you still find a way to take the next step.
Yeah.
So this is your problem. You didn't just burn out. You burned out a long, long, long time ago. And then that person who was you kept walking through that fire and you kept doing it. And you
Mm,
didn't listen and say, I need to turn this responsibility over to somebody else. You didn't listen. You kept taking that step and taking that step, doing what you were taught to do, doing what you were supposed to do, doing what was right, and taking another step. Feel familiar?
absolutely. You're right.
So you're not just in burnout. The reason you took to bed and your body began to break down, and by the way, there's lots of things going on atmospherically, et cetera, that you could pay attention to and would be very helpful in terms of research. Okay. The thing is that all of the conditions in our world were already set for you to get sick if you gave in. Okay. And there you are, plodding along, saying, I'm going to take on the mule and harness, I'm going to take that next step. Okay. And you kept doing it and doing it and doing it and landed yourself in bed. And of course, because the sun and Neptune are together, nobody can give you a right diagnosis. They're only saying chronic burnout, chronic fatigue. You got this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, but then it changes. The next time there's another test, it's different. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
That's because what's happened is that you basically willed yourself into I have to get sick so that I have an excuse to not do this anymore to myself.
Hmm.
Okay, does that resonate?
Yes, I've thought about that too. Like, is that what happened?
Well, now mind you, the illness is real. So you now have to work through those illnesses. The thing is, the illness came because you weren't listening.
I didn't feel I had permission. There was nobody else to hand it to. Yeah.
There's always somebody else to hand it to.
Yeah.
You didn't give the other people credit for being able to handle it. So where's your dad now? What happened to him?
He stayed in Texas. We moved back home to North Carolina and he wanted to stay. And so his roommates, I I kind of collected some people that I trust and they're caring for him and I feel
Hold
comfortable
it. I
now.
want to stop you a minute. There you
Yeah.
did it again. You see this little Pluto and moon? That
Yes.
square that brings in manipulation and control? Girl, that's you.
I'm a Capricorn. What do you
You
want me to do?
couldn't even let yourself have a breakdown and go to bed until you could organize the people to take care of him so that it would be okay for you to be free.
Yes.
Okay, that is what you have to work through. Do you realize that the people who are working and taking care of your dad are a bunch of different people, and it's not even the same ones right now that you quote unquote appointed? He's a survivor. He's making it happen. And guess what? Around the next corner, if you don't fix that, oh my God, I'm sorry I have to put it this way, but this is your mother. I think your mom's dead, isn't she? Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
she is.
because she, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it because she's saying it. She died to get away.
Hmm.
Are you going to be like mom?
Do what?
Are you going to be like mom?
Oh, am I? No, I hope not. But I know that she
Are
got
you
very,
going to have to die to get free
yeah.
because of choosing to carry everybody's problem on your own back? You see,
No,
you
I'm ready
finally
to be done.
you
I'm ready
finally
to.
forced yourself to get away from dad, but
Mhm.
because you've created the receptor point, I'm here to fix it, guys. Jump on. Okay. Around the next corner is somebody else who wants to sit on your stomach and say, move.
Yes, all my three kids have special needs, so it's not just my dad. It's a constant
Right. And that is
response.
what this is so hard to say, but it's something you really need to understand is that
Mhm.
you created an energy pattern. This is an energy around you. You get sick, I fix it. I carry it. You have a heavy suitcase, I carry it up the stairs. You can't make that decision, I'll do it for you. You realize you've created this pattern, and that pattern is killing you. The thing
Yeah.
is, your higher self doesn't want you to die yet. Your higher self said, okay, you want to be in bed, you want to be sick, go to bed. We'll make you sick. You got to let go of your need to control. It's
Hmm.
not everybody being sick, it's you needing to control their illness. Do you see it?
I see that as definitely part of it. And then I'm like, some of it is real, like things that have to be problem solved because,
Oh, it's
you
all
know,
real. You
yeah.
make it real. The thing is, there are many realities. I guess I can't do this one for you. What
Hmm.
I can only do is say, this is not the only reality that's possible for you.
I really
This
want to sit down. I'm sorry.
this reality carries with it eternal guilt, obligation, feelings of let down if you don't do everything exactly right. This reality is something you have been living with for many, many incarnations. And you've been incarnating into families that have the same pattern because this is your pattern. But you can see it now. You're an intelligent woman. You have had all kinds of desires to be and do other things. Instead of taking care of dad, if you have to take care of people, or taking care of your special needs kids who are now grown and can do their own thing, why don't you go and work in healthcare and get paid to do it and be able to do it between 9 and 5 and go home and have a life?
Yes, I
You
would love to
see,
do.
well, but it won't happen unless you make it happen.
Hmm.
So think about how can you make it happen? What can you do right now from bed that's going to start moving that focus in a new direction, one that works for you, that feels good, and that leads you to health?
I just continue to really think about letting go, letting others do. And that's what I've been trying to do.
Okay. Are you letting other people do things for you?
Yes, I've actually
That's big.
requested that.
Allowing yourself to receive. Okay.
Yeah.
Without feeling obligated that you have to give it back. Just allow
Yeah.
yourself to receive. That's one. Number two, have you been on your own researching each one of the symptoms that you have and looking for fixes for yourself the way you would have done for another person?
Yes, it's like vestibular migraine, so I'm constantly dizzy and all that. So I've been researching for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Okay. Because you're going to research and you're going to find solutions. And when you find those solutions, you see, that's putting your energy of being the healer into working for yourself. And when you turn it around and say, I count, I'm important, not just to fix everybody else in the world, but to fix myself, that's the beginning of turning this around and reversing the whole situation. And you being the person who can now maybe take the information that you have garnered and understood for yourself and write a paper on it, write a book on it, go and give a lecture on it to people out there who not as helping an individual, but giving what you have to offer to a lot of people. How does that feel to you?
Yes, that sounds like something I want to work towards. Yes.
And that's what you need. As soon as you start taking this, I know that as soon as you start changing your perspective, I count, I need to take care of me first. I need to let other people help me without feeling obligated. I need to be responsible for my own health, my own returning to a healthy situation. As soon as you start changing those ways of thinking, those perspectives, you're going to start to get better. And it's going to continue. It's going to get better and better and better and better. And then you're going to be able to help other people, not on that individual basis that sucks the life out of you, but on a larger basis that brings you joy and fulfillment.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. Hey, all of
Thank
you folks out there who are also cardinal signs, this information is for you too. So I hope you were listening. That was very important. Thank you for bringing that to my guide's attention because that was important information for everyone. Thank you. And Lisa, who is our next person?
Well, I'm going to say this is victim number 3 tonight.
After that, that's a victim number. Okay.
I'm telling you, let's go with Johanna.
Thank you. You hear me?
Yes. Hi, Joanna.
Hi, thank you for choosing me.
You're welcome. Actually, I'm saying you're welcome because Lisa's the person who, everybody always says, how does Lisa pick people? Lisa is also a psychic, and her guides tell her who to pick next. So thank Lisa and her guides. So,
Thank you to the
Joanna,
guy too.
where are you calling from?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Where?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, so you're another Floridian. We have a good group of Floridians here tonight. Welcome. And what is it you're most grateful for in your life right now? Hello? Have I lost you? Lisa, I think her mic went out.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. That I am able to buy a lot of food.
Okay, so what are you most grateful for again?
To be able to buy my groceries, my food, FOOD.
Okay. I'm sorry, I have a lot of noise in the background here that I can't control. It's raining hard. Okay, so
Oh,
I'm having a little
sorry.
trouble hearing you over that. You have a beautiful accent and your English is good, so it's not you, this is me. Okay, I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that. And can I ask what your sun sign is?
Aquarius.
Another Aquarian. So I'm not going to go back over all the things I said about Aquarius, okay, because you already have them in mind. But I am going to point out that, for you as well, there's a lot of need right now for you to get in touch with, what I'm going to say is what it is you really want. It feels like your wants and your desires are changing, and you're not, I think you're surprising yourself because you're that gal who sticks with everything, goes down with the ship, really has a lot of strength and fortitude. And right now you're changing. It's like, I don't know that I really want what I wanted a year ago. And I think you're having a little trouble coping with that within yourself. And also the circumstances in your life around you are also shifting. So it's not just you, it's like everybody is changing. Things aren't as solid and firm as they were a year ago. And you're saying, okay, well, what's my next step in life? Because I don't think I want to be in the place or the situation that I have been for a long, long time. I'm ready for a change. How am I doing?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes,
And
correct.
what's your specific question?
You were mentioning a lady that is under her thumb. You were
Yes.
totally right. That's why I called to see how can I deal with her. Um, I think I have two ladies, but I think you is more the boss of my boss, and I want to see
Yes, it is.
if the guides can give me like an advice if I'm going to be succeeding all these um requests that he's asking from me. It's a new project, a new things, changes, do
The
this and
answer is
that.
yes. Well, and you know yourself, anything, the big thing here isn't can you? The big thing here is do you want to? My guides are saying that if you choose to put your energy into that project, yes, you will be successful. The thing is, you don't really want to do it.
I am trying to put that in parallel another income for me. I'm
Mhm.
doing trading, learning as much as I can to put the parallel income because I want to be financially independent.
Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. And I think what you're doing is very wise. I see income being split between those two sources. I do see you being successful with the project from this woman. I do think it's going to be a headache. You're going to have to put more energy and effort into it than you thought. She's just not pleasant to be around. But you are still going, nevertheless, if you stick with it, you're going to be successful. Now, I think underlying this, there's the question, will you eventually be able to stop doing that work and just be a trader? And my guides are saying, yes, you are on the right path. So the change is coming, but not fast enough for you. You're kind of wishing it was here now instead of having to continue to work this way. And of course, another question is, will I be able to leave this job and go to a different job and earn the same money? And the answer to that question is yes, you would. Apparently, you're quite good at what you do and your skills are marketable. So, i.e., you do have options, okay? But eventually, if you choose to be a full-time trader, you would be able to do that. You're learning it quickly.
When do you think I can do a full-time trader?
I'm getting a 10. My guides would say that could be October. It could be the 10th month of a year, or it could be like 10 years from now, but I don't think it's that long.
I have two women. Is it the boss of my boss or is the other one? There's two women.
Both of these women are a pain in the neck. You're right. But the one you said was the boss of your boss, that's the one that you have the greatest issue with that has to be worked on.
Okay, but she's kind to me and is nice, but I feel different. I mean, I feel like he's one thing and then she's thinking different. Like
Yeah,
he's nice, but inside of her is different. Am I correct?
yes. I think you're reading her exactly right. And I think that she is not going to be permanently there in charge of that project. And you may be picking that up as well.
Who is going to be in charge after her?
Okay, this is my last question I can give to you.
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay. Um, what I'm seeing here is probably no one, and that's going to be difficult. They're going to expect you to finish it without that guidance. I think she's going to have a health issue.
Oh.
We'll see. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
a wait and see thing. That project, though, is something which she keeps adding things to. It doesn't. It's like it doesn't end, and eventually, it's going to end because she's not going to be there to go through it. So you're the one who's going to have to tie it up.
Oh, I see. I'm so grateful with it.
Um,
Thank you so
okay, good
much.
luck to you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And Lisa, who's our next person?
All right, our next lucky individual tonight is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, can you unmute?
Yes, thank you.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, a Scorpio, and I'm most grateful for my family here and on the other side.
Ah, okay. And since you're a Leo, here you are in this chart. You can see my cursor. I'm way up
Oh,
here in the 10th house in the top.
actually, I'm a Scorpio. I may
Oh,
have
I
cut
thought
out.
I heard you say Leo. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
like
okay.
I said, I've got noise in my background, so I'm not hearing as well as I usually do. Okay,
Okay.
so you're a Scorpio. So
Mhm.
you're over here in the 2nd house, which tells me that you're busy trying to figure out, um, very much like our preceding caller, if I were to make a change in my career, what would it be that I could go to that would give me better financial security, that would be more independent, that I'd be able to be answerable only to myself, really? How's that sound?
Yes, I'm kind of trying to decide that.
Huh? I know. And here's the thing I want to just ask you about. So here you called me for a question. I'm going to ask you a question. With Uranus opposing that 2nd house, and by the way, Scorpio is a fixed sign. So if you're a Scorpio, a Taurus, an Aquarian, or a Leo, listen, okay? But here's that Uranus opposing your sun sign. And so I know that you have both had other opportunities and you've also thought of other opportunities. So up until now, why haven't you taken them?
Main reason, I have this chronic condition. It's actually chronic fatigue syndrome, just like the other caller. And it's, or ME. I've had it for many years. I think it was after Epstein virus kind of brought it on. And I don't want to, I almost feel like maybe pushing too much, doesn't allow for it to get better. It could get worse. So basically, I'm just not sure about the health issue with me handling it now, or if it will get better. Or I don't know. That's the main thing on the career. Why I haven't taken opportunities that have been given.
Yeah, because those are, apparently, again, whatever it is you've been trained in, whatever it is your natural talents and abilities are, you definitely attract support out there. You attract people who are interested in what you're doing, who are saying, okay, I'm going to give you a job, or I can give you a salary for doing this project. Um, Ultimately, it's going to be your own choice. Okay, what I can tell you is that what's going on with you physically, we're looking over here right now in the 6th house, the house of health, is not been properly diagnosed, but you probably already figured that one out.
Right.
One of the things that has crossed my mind is that right now, probably 9 out of 10 people have chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yeah.
At this point, we need to step back and say, okay, what's going on in our world? What's going on in our environment? What's going on with our diets? What's going on, period, that so many people have chronic fatigue syndrome? And of course, I don't know if you were vaccinated or had the boosters, but that has contributed also to that chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yeah.
So people are starting to look at that whole thing and say, okay, what's going on? By the way, Neptune says that what you're dealing with isn't just one thing, it's a lot of different things. And as you address not just everything at the same time, but one symptom at a time, and that's how it seems to end up being resolved for you, you're going to recoup that energy. This is very important. This Neptune, Sun, and Chiron here is for everybody on the call tonight. It says you've all got things going on that are probably airborne. Neptune rules with airborne things, or hidden, and that could be in the environment, in the food, et cetera, et cetera. And guess what? It has affected your well-being. And for all of us, it's affected how we feel, it's affected how we think, how we do our work. I don't think there's anybody on the call right now who hasn't been affected by what's going on in our environment. So you're not alone in this anymore. But Chiron here in Aries says there's hope, there's a change coming. So back to you. Out of all these opportunities, have you stopped to think that perhaps there's something that I can do that would be working in my own time, on my own schedule, that would allow me to release my creativity, that I could be at least bringing in something which would make me feel more secure because I could work when I felt well instead of just having to push through what I'm not capable of pushing through. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, yes, that makes sense.
Okay. We live in a world right now which everybody is on the internet just as we are this evening. Okay. We live in a world where everything has to do with communication. We live in a world where it's quite possible to do work for other people and do it on your own time schedule, whether that's in the middle of the night. By the way, you do best in the middle of the night if you're going to work on a project, which isn't so great if you have a 9 to 5 job, is it?
Right.
And why do you do so well in the middle of the night? It's because in the middle of the night, the rest of the world is asleep and you don't have to deal with all the push and the anxiety because you're extremely psychically sensitive, and literally going outside on a day when there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of people are hyped up because of whatever's going on in the world, or maybe there's a holiday, um, you end up going home and getting sick. You can't handle all that. So my suggestion is study psychic self-defense. You need it. Okay.
Okay.
Learn that it's okay. It's okay for you to push people away and say, I'm only seeing one person at a time today. Learn that you don't have to work in a giant office setting where there's constantly people pushing at you and needing you. And you have the ability to, with your skills, to be able to work a job that you're working from home and that you can work on your own time schedule. Those are the opportunities you need to look at.
Okay.
And what's interesting is I think that as soon as you start to do something like that, your health is going to start to improve, because one of the big contributors to your health issue is that fear that you're not contributing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
you can
right.
do it. Okay. Do you have a
Okay.
last question?
I have a question. I have the feeling that I know the answer, but what do your guides see on, I don't know if I should ask how much longer, but really, I guess on this earthly plane, my father-in-law, his name is Tom Sr., I don't feel like it's much longer, but
It's not long at all. Trust your instincts.
okay.
And frankly, I feel comfortable talking about this because, he's ready to pass. He's been ready.
Oh,
He just
okay.
he does not know how to let go. That's his problem. But he's ready. This is not there are some deaths that you say, oh my God, this is so horrible. The person missed their life. He's ready. He's like, okay, I've done enough. I'm good. You know, he's in a good place actually.
Oh, good. Okay. Well,
And I
that's good.
feel like I wish I could say differently, but I don't think that his relationship with your husband is the best. Okay.
Right. Hmm.
Um, but I honestly think that's more your husband's issue than it is his. Your husband just feels like he never did enough for dad, or he never lived up to dad's expectations.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yep.
but the problem here is that dad didn't have any expectations.
Oh,
He's like, okay, who are you going to be when you grow up? Grow up, will you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that they kind of, the communication missed, okay?
Hmm.
Your husband's gonna have a hard time with him being gone. He really is, because he's gotta have that one word from dad that said, you did everything I ever wanted you to do. And dad's not capable of doing that because he has no idea that your husband even needs that.
Oh, he didn't even
Yeah.
know. Okay.
No, doesn't even know. It wasn't part of his, he never thought of it, you know? Your
Uh-huh.
husband is who he is. It's okay. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. The problem is his dad was just a critical person, okay?
Yes. Hmm.
And your husband took it personally,
Yeah.
okay? Which is interesting because I think that one of the things you love about your husband is how he wants to please and how he will go out of his way for everybody, not just you. The thing is that he does that because he's always looking for that recognition that he's good, that he's a good person. So
Um,
if you want to be helpful to your husband, give him that recognition. Let him
uh,
know how good a person he is. And I don't know that there's a darn thing you can do about him and his dad and their relationship. It just is what it is. Okay. And maybe one day your husband will realize that dad loved him. It didn't have to do with what he achieved or didn't achieve.
okay.
Okay. And pass
Um,
that along to him. Maybe it'll help.
yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yes, I'm taking notes here.
Yeah. And thank you
Uh,
so much. That was also,
okay.
we went down a lot of rabbit holes tonight, folks. And this last one, I think, was bittersweet, but important. Okay. And all of those people that I did get a chance to talk with, I want to say thank you very much for bringing such good energy to the call. And those folks who listened and got information from everybody else, I want to say yes, thank you for tuning in and listening. And if you didn't get to talk to me, please remember anytime before 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, you can drop me that short email, either to the email address on this site or to my assistant, Lisa Inc. at AOL.com. I need, of course, your name. I need your sun sign. That way I can work with this chart. I need what you're grateful for right now in your life and your simple question. And it'll probably take me 1 or 2 weeks before I get back to you, but I will respond, I promise you. Oh, and please don't ask any questions like, um, you know, what's next in my life or what do I need to know? Because that is so open that my guides are like, well, can't she be more specific or can't he be more specific? Ask something specific. That way they can be sure they're giving you the information you really want, not just giving you something that's, they see if you ask a question that's too broad, my guides see it all. And they're liable to talk to you about something that might not happen for another 20 years. And you're going to be like, huh? So be specific. You'll get a better answer. Okay, folks. Thank you so much. I'll see you next month. Good night, everybody.